Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Nigeria is planning to do a lot of things at the same time. In fact, they have decided they are pulling out in a lot of international organizations, a lot of associations and alliances, which Nigerians generally, that's the federal government is saying this, but Nigerians have generally reacted over that decision, and they believe there are other sinister moves involved, although the federal government have explained why, which in a moment we're going to share with you. But before we do so, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, says plans are on the way to reduce the number of international organizations Nigeria belongs to because of paucity of funds. One Mr. Onyema made this known while defending the ministry's 2021 budget at the House of Representatives on Tuesday in Abuja. Wow. He said the ministry is faced with the challenge of meeting its contribution to the international organizations. We are owing a lot. And in the Federal Executive Council (FEC), there is a process to rationalize and cut down on international organizations we belong to. This is because we are just owing monies left and right, and it's not even good for the image of the country, he said. Mr. Onyema, who decried the poor funding of the ministry, railed out the challenges facing the 2021 budget implementation. The minister said that one of the challenges the ministry is facing is the movement of officers, ambassadors, and their families. He said that 1.6 billion naira is required for the movement of ambassadors, while officers will require 3.7 billion naira, making a total of 5.3 billion naira for the whole movement. The minister said in addition to what was received in the revised budget, the ministry will require an additional 1.1 billion naira in 2021 to meet the cost of movement. He stressed the need to address the inadequate overhead budgetary provisions to the missions, which is resulting to a lot of debt for electricity and rent. Just on Monday, the ambassador in Hungary called to say they are going to throw them out from the Chancery building, that the landlord is coming and they do not have the money to pay. And we get that from a lot of missions across the world, and that is not a sustainable way of running foreign service. Then these exchange rate differentials with the CBN is really something we need to address once and for all. It is not so easy. All of these things are computed in naira, and all the payments abroad are in dollars. And once the exchange rate is changed, it never goes the other way. It always goes up, up, up. It never comes down vis-a-vis the dollar. This means immediate shortfall for all our missions, he said. The minister said the ministry requires an additional capital allocation of 5 billion naira to address some of the mission's renovation needs. According to him, a lot of our missions are eyesores, and it's just a huge embarrassment to the country that we can have missions in such terrible conditions. Mr. Onyema said that between 2012 and 2014, the ministry owed the local contractors 1.3 billion naira. And according to him, we have been receiving letters from National Assembly forwarding to us various claims and judgments asking us to pay them. We have a big challenge with clothing allowances. As you know, all officers in our missions from grade level 7 and above are entitled to $2,500 clothing allowance per annum. In 2021 budget, about 1,312 officers will be expecting the payment of these allowances, and if you take it at the CBN official rate, we are looking at 1.2 billion naira. What we have available is 762 million naira. For that, to be able to pay the clothing allowances, we still need an additional sum of 500 million naira, he said. Mr. Onyema said that the ministry needs 225 million naira to pay premium for insurance of the ministry's headquarters. According to him, that is based on an estimate of the value of the building at 12 billion naira, which is a very rare conservative estimate of that building. He said that the ministry needs 342 million naira for the building of infrastructure, which bridge the ICT gap the ministry currently faces. I was talking about the ICT deficit, which, with its presence in 110 countries, we believe that the ministry should be in a key position for foreign direct investment and export promotion, leveraging on our physical presence in 110 countries of the world to make that possible. It will be a one-stop shop for Nigerian businesses without going through all kinds of bottlenecks. We want your consideration to allocate this amount into the envelope. Part of what we go for digitalizing our missions and the 24/7 help desk that we need to have to keep in touch with Nigerians around the world. That will really transform the ministry and get us to do things we need to do, we need to be doing, and add economic value to the country, he said. Now, here what Nigerians are saying. Nigerians have also responded also to what Onyema, the minister in charge. Is this one here said, you can imagine, upon saying that we paupers, imagine the kind of global embarrassment this will bring upon this nation. So they have borrowed and looted so much that Nigeria will have to start withdrawing its membership of international bodies because of financial crunch. Such revenue generating agencies are being policed by government appointees. What about staggering amount of monies allegedly recovered from anti-craft war? Yet they will never cut down the cost of governance and their over-bloated luxuriant lifestyles. Well, the world have long left us behind in every aspect of development. This one here is saying the one you style pulled out from Amnesty International and International Criminal Court (ICC) because of the ongoing probe in Lekki shooting. This one here say why? This one is corruption galore. It is well. This one here is saying they have stolen Nigerian red. Federal government is now owing her workers backlog of salaries. The first federal government to do so in Nigeria in history. Wow, this is really strong, I tell you. And so much debt, I tell you. IMF is we are owing as at June 2020, we are owing $3.359 billion. World Bank Group as at June 2020, we are owing World Bank $10.463 billion. African Development Group, we're owing $2.5 billion. China, we're owing $3.2 billion. France, we're owing $403.65 million. Germany, we're owing $192.7 million. Japan, we're owing $76.6 million. India, we're owing $34 million. Eurobonds, oh my God, is there any other place we are not owing? This is serious. So this one here saying, oh dear, this is really, really serious. This one here saying, when I never start, keep stealing the money. If Nigeria doesn't evaluate its way of doing things, especially with the regards to corruption, one day Nigeria will just go seriously bankrupt. Savings we no get. Almost all our infrastructures are financed by loans. Despite all this, they still steal the remaining. Government style now is to be seizing people's foreign exchange to withdraw money from your dollar account, be like NNPC work. Okay. Oh dear. This one here is saying, oh na story, more headline to convince the masses and continue looting the masses to more hardship and poverty. This one is saying, nah, no qualms. This is so unsophisticated. All right, let's look at this critically. This is really heartbreaking, really. It has gotten to this level that we can't even stay in international organization where we can. I do know one thing for sure. When you belong to some of these international bodies, international organization, there's some funds, there's some dues you're meant to pay to sustain, the international organization, to sustain, to be a member state. And there are benefits. All right, that's good benefit to being a member state in some of this international organization. And when you withdraw, those benefits are also withdrawn. How did the older government officials before this dispensation, how did they manage it? We owe so much, and the way we are going, we have owed so much to the point that I don't know if we are even generating enough to pay, because by the time the repayment schedule will come, we still want to borrow. I think we still borrowed from Brazil. By 2021, do we still also need to borrow to finance it? By 2022, are we going to still borrow? Then, if we continue like this, Nigeria is in trouble. Then we should look inward. I'm sure there are ways we can generate. Of course, don't even think of overtaxing the people, because there are even no jobs. Jobs are not even given. So how do you intend to tax the people who are already with this COVID-19 and with all, oh dear, Nigeria needs prayers, I tell you. And the economic management also need to start wearing their thinking cap so that they can bring us out of this whole financial mess. That's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take on what uh,